So to just revise over the different types of tawaf sa'i for Hajj Tamattu. For Hajj Tamattu, you have the Umrah Tawaf, following which you do the Umrah sa'i, and this is done as soon as you go to Makkah, after which you can exit the state of Ihram. Then on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, you enter into the state of Ihram, you go to Mina and then to Arafah, then to Muzdalifah, and then you do your Tawaful Ifada on the 10th, 11th, or the 12th day, followed by the sa'i. And your hadi is compulsory for Tawaful Hajj Tamattu. And the last deed that you do before you leave Makkah is your Tawaful Wada. I hope this is all clear. Okay. Now let's go on to the different issues of menstruation. So what does one do if a woman is in her menses and she is passing miqat? We already covered this yesterday, but let's do it, go over this again because it is important. So if a menstruating woman, she passes the miqat with the intention of doing either Hajj or Umrah, then she is obliged to enter the ihram from the miqat. She cannot delay entering into the ihram until she becomes pure in Makkah. Okay, she has to enter the state of ihram at the miqat itself. And this is from the sunnah and the ijma, that is the scholarly consensus, that menstruation does not prevent one from entering into ihram. So the woman may enter into ihram even if she is menstruating. But then she should not, she is not allowed to go and do her umrah till she becomes pure and does ghusl. And she waits till she's pure, then she does the ghusl and she can go and do umrah. She is not required to go to the miqat because she is already in her state of ihram. So a few other points. Women in menses, they cannot enter the masjid, whether this is in Makkah or Medina or elsewhere. And on the day 8th of Dhul Hijjah, in order to get into your ihram for Hajj Tamattu, this can be done right in Makkah. You don't have to go to any miqat point. You don't have to go to Masjid Aisha, which is actually called Masjid Tanim. You don't have to do any of that. However, if one wants to do a second umrah after they finish the rites of Hajj, or if they are staying in, they finished their first umrah and they are staying in Makkah for a long time before the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. In these cases, if they choose to do a second umrah either for themselves or in behalf of somebody else who's deceased, etc., then they can go to Masjid Tanim or elsewhere outside the boundary of Makkah and get into the state of ihram. Now, keep in mind that doing multiple umrahs in one trip is not from the sunnah. The Prophet ﷺ did not do it. The Sahabas did not do it. But the scholars, they do allow it. Another scenario. What if a woman is in her menses and she will not become pure before the 13th of Dhul Hijjah and her group is departing from Makkah? So, if, for example, she came to Makkah on the 6th of Dhul Hijjah and her menses started and on the 6th of Dhul Hijjah after she reached Makkah. So at the miqat point, she had kept the niyyah of Hajj Tamattu. So now she is in Makkah, but she is unable to do her tawaf and sa'i for Umrah. And it is now become the 8th of Dhul Hijjah and she's still not become pure. So what does she do? She changes her niyyah from Hajj Tamattu to Hajj Qiran, since for Hajj Qiran one can do the tawaf and the sa'i afterwards, that is on the 10th of Dhul Hijjah onwards. So she will go to Mina, she will do all her rites of Hajj except for praying Salah. And after becoming pure, she does ghusl, then she performs the compulsory tawaf, which is the tawaf al-ifada, followed by the sa'i. And now this is actually now for Hajj Qiran because she changed her niyyah. So, and this will complete her Hajj. I hope this is clear. Another scenario. She gets her menses after performing the umrah of Hajj Tamattu. So she came to Makkah, she finished her umrah, then she got her periods. But before doing her tawaful ifada and sa'i of Hajj. So for example, say in Arafah, she got her menses. And it is now time for her group. She's waiting, but there's no way for her to get pure because she got her periods only on the 9th, and she has to do the Tawaf al-Ifada and Sa'i either on the 10th day, 11th day, or the 12th day, right? So it's time for her group to leave Makkah. She's still not performed her Tawaf al-Ifada, she's not done her Sa'i, and her group cannot leave her behind. They cannot stay back. She lives outside the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and it is impossible for her to return back to the kingdom once more. If she's living in Saudi, of course, it's easier for her to come back, the next week, in a few weeks' time, to finish her Tawaf al-Ifada or and her Sa'i. So what should you do in this exceptional case is she should clean herself, put a sanitary pad on, and perform Tawaf al-Ifada and then perform Sa'i. And for Sa'i, purity is not a requirement. So she can go and perform her Sa'i even if she's bleeding, because now it is a case of necessity. And a lot of people, if you fall into this situation, might ask, what is the proof for this? So Sheikh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah was asked the same question. He said that if the matter is as described, a woman has not done Tawaf al-Ifada and she has got her menses, she cannot remain in Makkah or come back to it. If she leaves before doing Tawaf, then in this case, she may take one of the two measures. Either she may have an injection to stop the bleeding and then do Tawaf, or she may put on a sanitary pad to prevent the blood contaminating the masjid and do Tawaf, as this is a case of necessity. The view that this view is the most correct view, and this is the one that is favored by Ibn Taymiyyah. Okay, I hope that is clear also. Okay, now if the pilgrim, another scenario, if the pilgrim who's doing tamattu is not able to do Umrah before Hajj. So this is a scenario where it could be applicable even to a man or a woman, right? So for whatever reason, he is prevented from doing the Umrah before Hajj. Okay. So either he missed his flight got cancelled, he's coming by car and he got delayed, he got stuck somewhere, he fell sick, whatever be it, he had kept the niyyah for, he entered into the state of ihram, but then after that he got delayed, okay? So in this case, what does he do? He changes his niyyah from tamattu to kiran and intend to do the Hajj and Umrah together. And this is exactly the same that happened to Aisha radiallahu anha. She came with the niyyah of doing Hajj tamattu, but then her menses started, so she was not able to do the Umrah before Hajj. So she changed her niyyah from tamattu to kiran and did the tawaf of Hajj along with the tawaf of Umrah and the Sa'i, so it became Hajj kiran. And it is not permissible for the pilgrim who's doing tamattu to change his intention to ifrad, because he had made the niyyah of doing umrah, and so he has to perform an umrah. So if the intention was changed before he entered into ihram, then there is nothing wrong in it. He can just keep the niyyah of doing Hajj Kiran and or even Hajj Ifrad and then go ahead and do it. Okay. But if he changed the niyyah from tamattu to kiran because he was unable to do the umrah, then what does he do? He goes straight to Mina, Arafah, Muzdalifah, back to Mina, goes and does the Tawaf al-Ifada, and but this Tawaf al-Ifada will be enough for both the Tawaf al-Ifada as well as the Tawaf of the Umrah, and followed with the Sa'i, and this Sa'i of Hajj will be enough for both the Hajj as well as his Umrah. Okay. Acts that necessitate fidya. We will do the text.